Wagwan everybody, it's your boy Mr. H again. Today we're going to be back with some chemistry. So we have this question given to us, and we are told to find the total of the ionic equation and the net ionic equation, and to find out any spectator ions. Okay, so we'll work on this step by step, and we'll see, and I'll show you the process of how we'll do it. And we'll do a couple more examples in some further videos, might up the difficulty there as well. So the question asks, a manganese 2 nitrate solution is mixed with sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, so now remember, both of these are solutions, so that means they both will be in the aqueous form. Now you have to know, because these are all word problems, you have to know the formula or for the compound. So for nitrate, I know that is going to be, I'm gonna put that in blue actually. I know that's NO3, all right, and manganese is Mn, and sodium hydroxide is NaOH. That's pretty straightforward. So, and this is manganese 2, and um, the charge of nitrate is -1 or -1. So I know that manganese 2 nitrate would be MnNO3 in brackets whole 2. Okay, and so now we say it is mixed with sodium hydroxide solution, which is NaOH. All right, and now we need to know what that results in. So now this is NaOH, as you know, is a base. Let me just put down, these are both aqueous. I'm not going to write down the states in each of the equations I write down, but make sure to do that according to your professor, according to your exam paper given to you. Okay, so now it's going to be a simple substitution reaction. It'll become sodium nitrate, and it'll become manganese hydroxide. All right, so NaNO3, also aqueous, plus manganese hydroxide. So now remember, this is manganese 2 nitrate over here, so the charge on manganese will remain the same, and we know the charge of OH is -1. So when you do your crossing, it'll become OH2. Okay, now to find my ionic equation, we have to split everything up into its ions. So we'll start off with manganese. Okay. Oh, sorry. Before that, we have to balance out this equation first. So I know that there's two OH ions here, so I'll put a 2 here. Now, because there are two sodiums and two nitrates, I'll just put a 2 over there. So now everything is balanced. Okay. So now we will find out the ionic equation. And for the ionic equation, we will say, because I know it's manganese 2, so I know it's Mn2 plus. All right, it is in the aqueous form, so you can keep writing down the states at which they're in. Nitrate has a charge of -1, and because there's a 2 over here, so that means there are two nitrates on the left-hand side, so 2NO3 -1, also in the aqueous state, plus because there's there are 2 moles of the NaOH, or there's 2 in front of the NaOH, so that means there are 2 Na plus 1s, and there are 2 OH -1s. All right, all in all, that gives you, once again, the 2 here, be careful for that. So become 2Na plus 1 plus 2NO3 minus 1. Running out of space, but it's okay. Plus, and now this is something you have to know, that manganese hydroxide will precipitate out. In most questions, depending on your level of education, or if you're in university level, if you're in high school, they will tell you if it will precipitate out or if you will already have to know. So manganese hydroxide is a precipitate, so it's a solid, so that means it does not form any ions. Okay, so because it does not form any ions, we will write it down as it is. So manganese hydroxide as it is. Okay, so this is going to be our ionic equation. This is not the net ionic equation, which is different. Okay, the difference between a ionic equation, so then ionic equation versus your net ionic equation, is that in your net ionic equation there are no spectator ions. Okay, so there's no redundancy, there's no spectator ions. Okay, so and in our case, I'll show you what these spectator ions are. So we know that this is our ionic equation. We're done with that. Okay. Now the spectator ions are anything which gets canceled, which is the same on the both sides. So I know that here sodium, 2 Na plus 1s, they are spectator ions because they're both equal and the same amount on the left hand side as they are on the right hand side. Same thing with my nitrate. They're also on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Okay, so essentially you can just cancel them out if you'd like to make your final equation, and that will get you your net ionic equation. So my net ionic, I'll put that in blue actually. So my net ionic equation will be manganese 2 plus OH minus 1, be 2OH minus 1 right there, will get me manganese hydroxide. Okay, now if you want, you can put your states in here if you'd like. Like I said in the beginning, I get lazy, but you should always do that. So this is your net ionic equation. Okay, so just to recap quickly, your ionic equation will just be all your ions. You can just split them up and you can just add them, but just make sure to balance your equation and everything should be the same. When you do your net ionic equations, you just have to remove your spectator ions. Like I said, the spectator ions are the ions which will be the same on the left hand side as will be on the right hand side, so you can just simply cancel them out. Okay, and then you can write your net ionic equation. In the other videos, I'll show you also how to balance with electrons and hydrogens and oxygens. So we will pick up the difficulty as we go on, but I hope this makes sense, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.